Hey, good morning. Welcome to Tuesday. It is absolutely a beautiful morning over here in southern Louisiana, wherever you're watching this from. But I want to talk to you a little bit this morning about when we need to let go of things and we need to hold on to things. Whether you're on the mountaintop right now, maybe walking through a valley, different seasons, and the different paradigm shifts sometimes that we need to make in our lives. You know, I was thinking about, I drive past this one particular area in Manville all the time, and it's an old Blockbuster location. They now have it up for lease. The building sat there, I don't know for how long, years, being unoccupied. But Blockbuster, man, had it going on back in the day. I mean, everywhere you look, there was a Blockbuster. They were rolling, advertising, and man, nothing was going to knock them off their horse. Well, as you know, as I do, if you look around for a Blockbuster right now, they're just not around because they held on to a particular paradigm or business model that wasn't adjusting, that wasn't transitioning for what was taking place in the market. You know, sometimes in life we're like that. I know I've been guilty of it. And, you know, a conversation I was having with somebody last night in reference to a situation they were walking through with an individual. They had a certain paradigm, like it's always been this way. This is the way it's going to be. And it was with a child. And this child is not growing up to be a young man, but still wanting to go back to this days where maybe this child was younger and thinking along those lines and having that kind of paradigm. Anyone raising a preteen or teenager right now understands that shift has to be made from younger to older kids. I know I'm seeing that even in my own children. So just kind of wanting to throw that out there today. Is there a certain area, relationship, financial, health-wise, where you have a certain paradigm that is out of season for where you're at? You know, so those are some areas that need to be challenged in us. Sorry about the sunlight and different stuff along those lines coming in like that. But those are different areas that we need to be challenged by, friends, and not just stay conformed to the way we were thinking, but see changes there. So that would be an example of an area that we need to change, you know, to let go of that paradigm. Now, however, you're in a season right now. I think about the biblical story of Joseph and what he walked through with his brothers and had these dreams, and you're going to be this, this, and this, and gets sold into slavery, this and that. And I don't know how many of you know that story, but the guy had a really rough time to get to the finish line of where that was. But you know, he had to hold on to something. He had to hold on to that dream, that vision that God gave him, that this is where you're going to end up. And through many trials and many testings. And I'm sure he had his rough days, no doubt about it. It's obvious. But he held on to hope. He held on to God. And, you know, another thing to be careful about, as I'm just mentioning that, is our expectations. You know, we need to maintain expectancy in God, but be really careful about our expectations for timing and different things. You know, there's really no specific, go build an ark, it's going to be this, this, and this. You know, God does speak to us on certain times and frames in different areas. But I think it's much more fluid in that in our lives. And we need to be careful about, all right, putting a tight box on something unless it's specifically spoken and confirmed to us by God and others in our life. Just be really careful with that, because expectations can really leave you heartbroken, put a lot of pressure on yourself and the relationships around you. Well, that's a lot coming out this morning. So just wanting to throw that word out there. And you know what? It says when you're walking through stuff, seek God. Seek Him first, and He'll add all these other things to you. It says if you lack wisdom, ask of God. But don't be double-minded about it. But just ask Him, and He'll give it to you. And He says He doesn't even hold our mistakes against us if we'll just humble ourselves and go to Him. And as always, remember, God's plan for your life is a good plan, for good, to give you an expected end, not for destruction. Trust in His heart for you. Humble yourself. If you're way off, reset that navigation point. Reset the compass for true north, which is your relationship with God. and watch him work in these other areas. I'm not saying that'll happen overnight, but it'll happen. And I just want to encourage you, if you've lost hope, if you're discouraged in where you're at, don't give up. Keep pressing in. Ask God to strengthen you today. And God, I just thank you for that today. I thank you for those watching. I thank you for strength. I thank you for those, Lord, who maybe have lost hope, who's grown weary in the work that you've called them to, even in life. And I just ask for your strength today, Lord. I'm asking for grace today, for an injection of your joy, for a renewed hope, and for the winds of your presence to blow upon their lives, upon my own life, Lord. And Father, we just thank you for this day. Lord, help us to let go of the things that we need to let go of. Hold on to the things we need, and wisdom to know the difference. God bless. Have a great day.